Welcome to the Gear Slum, your one-stop shop for all things guitar culture nonsense. I'm Aaron.
I'm Phil.
And I'm Cole.
Before you do anything else, I need everyone to listen and help me out. Which Eminem song is it that the beat goes bump, 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 bump.
It's Eye of the Tiger.
Bump, 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 bump. That's like the bass. Because I was sitting in my
and then
home.
Eminem says, "Rising up, back on the street."
No, I want to say his cadence kind of goes like, and it's kind of stop and start a little bit, but I can't remember if it's an old song or a newer song.
Do the beat again. How does the bass go?
It goes bump, 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 bump.
I can't hear anything but Eye of the Tiger.
Bump, 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 bump. I feel like it's a song about murdering his ex-wife or something.
I'm sorry. Well, he's got lots of songs about that, but hang on. We summon hard, so you don't have to.
Oh, we do slum it hard, so you don't have to. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'm asking you to slum it hard for me in the terms of Eminem.
Please, everyone, please, viewer, slum it hard for Aaron because he's maxed out. He's tapped out. He can't slum any longer in this particular category.
Well, I was
Somebody
sitting in my apartment, like getting my kids ready for bed, so it was like quiet, and I hear like
we get it. You've got two kids.
No, listen. I was like, oh, I hear someone's stupid bass like thumping, and then I was like, wait a minute, I know this song, and it was that, but all I could hear was the bass, and I'm like, I don't know what song it is, but I'm pretty sure it's Eminem.
Is it the one that goes, "When I was just a little baby boy, my mama
Yes,
used to tell me he's crazy"?
yes.
Yeah,
That is the one.
so it's called "Kill You."
It's
How did
Kim.
you do that?
Oh, Kill You. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I was right.
I think it's about murder.
That's pretty close to like what I said, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, it's Kill You. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. See, we don't need you guys. We slum hard on our own.
Oh, see,
I
now
do,
here's what's
like-
great. We've got a couple viewer who are listening to this in real time, and they were screaming the
viewer.
answer.
Yeah, that's true.
They were screaming the answer,
Mm.
I like. There's
and they
what
feel
show is
like
it?
they feel.
Is it Trailer Park Boys where they refer to beers as beer, like plural beers as beer? Like, can you pick up a few beer for me?
Oh, weird.
That was like how you just said.
Oh, I like
We have
that.
a couple viewer. Yeah, it is pretty
Couple of
good.
viewer.
Right, it's like because
Throw me a couple beer.
because of my stupid major, I took some linguistic classes, and
Mhm.
I had one professor who talked about the idea of, he was kind of like obsessed with the idea that like of like pluralizing things, like the way we pluralize things in language, and we, rice is rice, but coffee can be coffee. Get me a coffee, but it's like that shouldn't be singular, but then rice, like you see what I'm saying? Like he was obsessed with all of the variations of like how we pluralize.
No, but if
and
you
don't
worked in a
pluralize.
restaurant, you would be like, I need 2 rices, because if you need like 2 servings,
Yeah,
or 2
you would
plates
never
of
say
rice,
2 rice. You would say like 2 orders of rice or 2 servings of rice.
Exactly, but you would
and that's
never
the same
say
thing.
you would never say 500 grains of rice. Like the idea of like when we
But you would
group
never say
and-
500 coffee.
Yeah, like you
either.
never. Well, I think really the interesting part is you never say rices, right? Unless, but that's like a colloquialism where you say rice, like you say number of orders of rice. You would say that in a kitchen, but they don't really. They speak like
Right.
a shorthand almost.
It's
exactly,
because,
but like
it's
it
because
becomes,
beer and coffee, like are normally served in like single servings. So like beer is non-count,
Yes.
but it's also like I need a beer,
Yeah.
which means like one.
It's like
designated
anytime
size
there's
of
small-
serving of beer.
Anytime it's like
Yes.
small, it's like corn or whatever too, you know. What just came off my forehead?
Like you could have a vat of beer or like gallons and gallons of beer, and that would just be beer. But as soon as you put it into single serving sizes, then it's beers.
Actually, okay, you're
And
making me think of
coffee's
something
the
else.
same thing.
In movies, when they say
And they're both evil.
it drives me.
There's, like I said, the same thing. I'm drinking
Cole-
coffee, by the way, not beer.
Cole, I don't know if you know this. Maybe you've never noticed this because you've never ordered these things. But like in movies, when people walk up to a bar and they say 2 beers,
It's weird, right?
That
It's like
is
going up to the bar and saying,
insane.
give me two sodas.
yes, exactly. It's like that's nonsense, and no one would ever say that in real
But it's
life.
because they don't want to say brand names, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm assuming that,
But it
that's
isn't. It is. I've thought that was weird. But like, is it normal? Like you'll hear sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, what?" Well, do they say that in like what kind of beer do you have on tap? That's an actual normal question to ask, right?
Yeah. What
That's
do
a
you have on
normal
tap?
question to ask. Yes,
But it's also like it's just shorthand because
but no one would ever
unless
use
you
it in
stop
real
and
life.
think about it, it's only awkward when you like stop and analyze it. But in the moment, it makes sense because it's also like, oh, what do you want to drink? I'll just have a beer. Okay.
I wonder if
No.
this is
Like, if
showing your privilege.
I'm saying to your
Phil.
friend, you would say that to
'Cause,
a
like-
friend, like, or like
Oh yeah, totally.
I would never.
if your
say
wife
that.
is like, you would never say,
Yeah,
I'll-
'cause
I'll
you're
have
like,
a beer.
oh, what-
If you went
what
to a friend's
year?
house and they're like,
What year is
and they
that
said-
from or whatever?
you want something
Cole
to
is
drink? You're
correct.
like, no, this is what
Cole
you
is
would
correct.
do. This is what
What's
would
the
happen.
ABV?
Okay,
They would say, "Do you want something to drink, like a like a soda or beer?" You'd be like, "Yeah, I'll have a beer," and
No.
then you would say, "What do you have?" Yes,
No.
you would.
no, I would not.
You're
I
an
would
idiot.
say-
what are you talking
would.
about?
You
No,
100%
If somebody
would.
No.
said, "Do you want soda or beer?"
No, because
You're drawing a weird line in the sand, Phil. I don't
No,
know why
no, no,
you're
no, no.
arguing this.
here's I'll tell
You're
you
just
why.
arguing
I'll
that
tell you why.
you have bad social skills or something.
No, I'll tell you why. Here's why I would ask what kind of beer before I answer the question. The reason is because I do have friends who like their fridge is stocked with like Coors or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and like
You say
in
that as
case,
if it's
no,
such
thank
a
you.
terrible thing.
It's just like, hey, no, I mean, that's for you, sure, but like, no,
It's
thank
not
you.
for me.
You're not going to have a Coors if that's all your friend has, and he wants to have a beer with you.
If he says, "Do you want? Hey, what do you want to drink?" I have beer and soda. I would
Purple stuff.
first say purple. Yeah, I got the purple stuff. Sunny D.
OJ.
You would
I
say,
would
"What
first-
kind of stuff do you? What kind of beer do you have?"
Yes.
And then he says Coors, and then what do you say?
I would say, "What kind of soda do you have?" And if he says, "I have Coca-Cola Classic," and
Who are these people you're? Do you ever interact with people in the real world,
listen,
Phil?
I'm sorry, Cole. I'm sorry, but
Who's
that
this
is
person
that
saying
is
Coca-Cola
100%.
Classic?
No, I would. Well, okay, that's
He's
me.
like, "Hey Phil, we're at a barbecue, and
Maniac.
we got a bunch of beer here. Do you want one?" Like everyone's drinking beer.
No, honestly,
No, I'll
honestly,
have Coke. I will have a soda.
honestly.
Your beer
here's
isn't
what-
good enough for me. It's
Yeah.
cold.
Honestly-
The can is cold activated, Phil.
I will not be joining into.
Tell me you're
this-
too good for that, or the
Well,
bottle
that's
is cold
Coors Light.
activated.
That's Coors Light, but
No, honestly,
The
here's what
normal
I would do
Coors isn't
because
cold activated?
I do
No.
feel bad for my snobbery. I would say, "Oh, is it over in this cooler?" And then I would just like not let them in
Pretend.
on my. Yeah, I would not let them
You
in.
take
in
on, but
my
not even
snobbery.
open it, and just like hold it up to your mouth every few minutes.
if I was at a friend's house and they
So
offered
you
me a
know- you
beer,
don't-
I would
you
drink
refuse?
it no matter what it was.
You refuse to drink Coors or Bud Light or something.
Yeah, I just don't want it. I don't like
So
the
uppity.
taste. I know. I'm sorry. I don't like the taste, and so it's like, and it's
You know,
like
you
a
live
lot
in
of calories.
Roseville, right? You don't have a lot of room to be acting bougie all of a sudden.
I know. I
I
know.
mean, you do have a pool, an in-ground pool, which
I do have an in-ground
Weird.
pool. I have multiple televisions.
Do you have air conditioner too?
I have an air conditioner.
yeah, do you have central air? That was like a big thing.
Um,
Remember?
You have a refrigerator?
Yeah. I have
How many
I have a
refrigerating
refrigerator
devices-
and a refrigerator.
How many refrigerating devices do you have in your garage? That's the real question. So my neighbor, it's like pretty common to have a fridge or a freezer in your garage, right? We have a full-size freezer in our garage. My neighbor had a full-size freezer in his garage, and then when they got a new fridge, they just put their old fridge also in their garage. So they have two fridge freezer combos and a full-size fridge.
Whoa.
That's the way to live, you know.
Heck yeah, dude. And then you end up saying things to the members of your family like this. Yeah, they're in the fridge. Which one?
Exactly.
The garage one. No, the other one.
Well, the garage one is just for drinks, basically.
Yeah. The other one. The other garage one.
The speaking of garages, do you guys want to get an update on my garage?
Nope.
It's come along pretty good.
I'm just kidding. I would love one.
It's your weekly update. It's coming along pretty good.
That's the update.
Yep.
Did you guys do like the paint flakes things on the floor?
They did.
Like, throw the flakes.
Epoxy.
Yeah. Wait, did you throw the
like
flakes?
it has like the chips, like the
aspartic.
flakes first,
Yep.
and then you put the epoxy over it.
Well, you put
Or you mix it.
you put the base coat of epoxy, which is like a color, so it's like a solid color,
Mm-hmm.
and then you sprinkle the flakes on top of that, and then you put a clear coat on top of the flakes.
Right. Nice.
And that gives it like not just a visual texture, but an actual physical texture.
Well, the clear coat, does it keep the texture?
Yeah, the clear coat it
It's thin enough.
softens some of the texture. Ours is like full coverage with the flakes.
Yeah.
So it's like almost so they put a ton of flakes on and then they go through with a
Yeah.
scraper after it dries and scrape off the extra flakes and then do the clear coat.
Mm.
So, but yeah, you have to do some texture, otherwise it's way too slippery. You would just be if it was ever
Otherwise
wet, you
the-
would just eat
The
it.
flakes are pointless, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
What
But-
colors did you go with for the floor?
it's called Yosemite.
It's like browns.
Some of our no, it's all grays. So it's
Oh, okay.
the base coat was gray, and then all the flakes are black and white and silver and stuff.
Oh, nice.
And then we painted the walls gray and the ceiling white. It turned out good, actually.
It looked
And I
pretty
built-
cool.
I built a 22-foot long shelf on the wall to wall,
Wall to wall.
and yeah.
So
Floor to
what
ceiling.
if someone said, "Do you want an IPA?" What would you say?
What year is it
Would
from?
you ask what kind it is,
I
or would you just roll the dice?
think I would roll the dice on that. And I know that's really lame, but like
No, I don't think that's lame at all.
What if someone said they have a Pilsner?
no.
What
Anybody
is a
who just
Pilsner?
who uses the word pilsner would make me I don't.
Because that's like,
like-
a Coors Light or something, right?
It could be yes. Yes.
What if they said, "I got a pills"? You want a pills?
I would push
You
them
roll
in
the
the
dice.
pool.
You roll the dice on that one too.
What if they said, "I got this"?
Pills.
I got this.
And what
What
I
if they
mean by
said,
that is
I got it a pills.
I got a glass of water with a roofie in it.
What if the options were cherry
Okay.
Coke,
Mhm.
cherry Coke, okay, cherry Coke, Coors regular, or like a craft brewery pilsner?
No diet options whatsoever.
Yeah, there's no diets. Not in
Okay,
this
but I
scenario.
also walked in with my Nalgene.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
You forgot it.
Douche.
Don't-
I mean, you had it, but here's
Cold,
what happened.
come on.
Took
You
your
want
Nalgene
to,
to
let me
someone's
tell you what
house?
happened. You drank it all, like you got in the car, so you were getting ready to leave. You're like, "Oh, my Nalgene's in the car, so it's cool." But you forgot that you had finished drinking it earlier, so it's actually empty.
Okay.
So you didn't bring it to the party because you're like, "I'm not going to bring in my empty Nalgene. That would be a total douchebag."
And I'm super thirsty.
Mm-hmm. You're not thirsty, but you're like down to hang out and party. You know, you're going to be there for a while. You're going to have some.
Okay, so give
you're
me
having a
give me the
carne
choices
asada.
again.
You got a cherry Coke
Okay.
in a 2-liter bottle. You got Coors, the banquet beer, and you got a craft pilsner.
Oh my gosh.
Stash
This
it,
is
smash
very-
it, trash it.
Okay. This is very upsetting. I would mash the micro pills. What'd you call it?
A micro craft pills.
Craft brew. Okay, yes, I would mash that one. I would boutique. Yes, I would trash the. I think I would trash the Coors, and I would stash the Cherry Coke.
Okay. Do you not like Cherry Coke?
Are they all cold? Are they all cold?
They're all perfectly like the way that you would drink them. Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes people are like, "Hey, thanks for coming to my party. We just put these on ice 10 minutes ago."
Here's a beer
and
that's been sitting in my garage in the middle of June.
No.
You want
and then
it?
it's like, listen, I would rather
pour
die
it over
of thirst.
ice.
Any of those three options, I would rather die of thirst than drink them room temperature.
I would slam a room temperature Cherry Coke.
Ooh, jeez, no.
I'd go hard on it. Yeah.
No.
Heck yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You're not gonna drink it Cherry Coke? What kind of weird
warm
lines are you drawing?
Warm.
Oh,
I'm not saying I would like
Okay,
choose
here's-
warm, but of those three options, I would choose a Cherry Coke warm before I died of thirst.
okay. Here's something for you guys, and you tell me how crazy you think this is. A neighbor of mine was at a conference this last week, and he was telling me on Sunday. Oh no, he came over for the UFC fights. That's why. And I asked him if he wanted a soda, and he was like, "No, I had too much this week," because he went to this conference, this professional conference, and the only drinks they didn't have water at all. So you're like going into different sessions, and like there's drinks and stuff at the back of the room, right?
Mm-hmm.
Only drinks they had were non-diet soda. No water, no diet soda, only like sugary soda for this like 3-day long
water.
This 3-day long conference. So basically
That's
everyone
crazy.
is like there was a line at the drinking fountain the whole time. And at the end they were telling people like, yeah, take some 12 packs of soda with you because we have way too much of it. And it's like, yeah, guys, you should have gotten some water probably. Isn't that nuts?
That is
Yes,
crazy.
it is. Even
Yeah.
like, and that's what,
Especially because like there was a company, it was like at a big convention center here. So like in theory, the person providing those drinks does it on the regular.
Yeah.
So they could have easily been like, hey, maybe you should do this thing because you're the only people in history to ever do this.
If
and
it was
that's
like
insane.
if it was like 3 years ago, they would have just have like big, like pitchers, not pitchers of water, but like big, serving things like where you
good
take a little tap.
big photographs of water,
Yeah.
giant photos of water. No, like
big
like a
pictures
jug.
of water.
Like what do you call that? Like it's
What?
like a big bucket with a little spout on it,
Yeah,
full
just
of
a cooler, right? Like it's a
Yeah, but like the hotel version, it's just like a giant plastic thing. With
Oh,
like
yeah,
ice
yeah.
water in it.
that they put
and
like
it's
freaking lemon slices in or whatever.
Yeah, and it's like sweating
Yeah.
all over the place.
It's like I don't know what it is. Water serving
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what you call that. Water
cooler.
jug.
I guess it's
server?
just a water
Decanter?
cooler, right?
No,
It's not really a cooler though, because it's not like insulated.
No,
Dispenser.
fancy water.
Yeah,
dispenser.
Yeah, water dispenser
I guess that's true.
yes,
for home. I'm looking it up because I know which one you're. It's like it's almost shaped like a weird like flower, right? And then it's got the lid that sticks on.
Yeah,
top.
and there's like
but it's like clear.
the
It's just
bottom
clear
part,
plastic.
like there's like a base that it sits in. And yeah, like every hotel or convention center has them. Like you
yeah,
used to just sit in the lobby, and there's like a stack of cups next to it.
yeah. I guess it is just. I think you're right.
Like
Phil.
every
It's just
convention
water
I've been to
dispenser.
would have those.
Yeah,
Not
totally.
every convention. Like NAMM doesn't have them, but if it's like especially if it's like a specific thing.
Any,
like
I bet
our
NAMM
company
does
is
in like
catering it or
because I bet
whatever.
there's like classes happening at NAMM too, right?
Yeah, that's true. Like in the
in the rooms,
ballrooms or whatever.
ballrooms.
Ernie Ballroom. Dude, if Ernie Ball should rent a ballroom and just have the Ernie Ballroom.
It's true.
Ernie Ballroom. Or would they call it the Ernie Ball Ballroom?
ball.
Ernie
Ernie Ball Ballroom. Did you see that? You see that? What's his name? Hetson? Jim Hetson?
Hetson,
Greg? What's his name?
Oh, with the puppets.
Hetfield?
Muppet Babies,
Hetfield? James Hetfield? James Hetfield?
Jim Hetson.
I was confusing Jim Henson, Greg Hetson, and James Hetfield
James
all
Hetfield.
together.
Okay.
Has like some signature Ernie ball strings now. I didn't know signature strings was a thing.
Yeah. What makes them signature?
I wonder if
This
they're
is
like
great.
a weird balance
I think it's
of like
I think
light
that's what
top,
it is
heavy
for
bottom
him.
or something.
Yeah,
This is
but it's
great slum
also
talk.
like signature string. You guys know who Greg Hetson is?
No.
Yeah, Muppet Babies.
Papa Het's signature guitar strings.
Papa Het. No, James Hetz. Greg Hetson is he was in Bad Religion. He's a guitarist. He was also in some other bands, but
These limited edition center housed in a durable tin box.
yeah, why
Heavier
that's
core to wrap ratio. Never before offered gauge combinations. It's 11 to 50 basically.
Yeah, it's the that's the thing. It's supposed to have a thicker core.
It's like a
and then,
wound. I think the G string is wound. Maybe.
oh yeah.
It's got a little asterisk.
No, it says
next to it.
P. It's a P.
Oh, what is that? For
18
Papa?
P is plain. Means not
Oh.
wound.
It's the opposite of what I was saying.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Papa
Like,
Het.
do you think he uses those strings? I kind of doubt
No,
it.
I don't know. Has a master core.
Dude.
Thicker
Paradigm
thicker core
plasma
wire
enhanced
and plasma
nickel-plated.
enhanced nickel-plated steel wrap wire.
What does that mean? That's like flame broiled. That's what Burger King should say their Whopper is plasma enhanced.
Plasma enhanced. Has anyone in the history of the world ever
Dude.
called him Papa Het?
I don't think so.
It's a weird thing to say about yourself.
Oh, apparently that's. Oh wait, that's what he calls.
Hey,
Papa
himself.
what are
Het's
the-
hardwired master cores.
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Sorry.
what do DVRs go for new?
What?
What? Like what do?
DV
Well, that's like asking like how much could I?
Sorry,
how
D-
much?
DRVs,
would it-
DRVs.
How much would
I
it cost to
apologize.
go
Oh,
rent a
I
was
movie
like-
at Blockbuster Video?
I was
No,
like, who's buying a
DRVs.
DVR? It's just like built into the
DRVs.
Switch online. They're I think $249.
What is this guy? So in my town, someone is selling a DRV for $250. Why? No.
I mean, I don't know. They're kind of hard to get
Okay.
sometimes.
You're saying
Okay,
it should be
sometimes. And
Is
it's
it
not
like a normal?
No, I'm
color?
saying it's the standard one. It's got the three
The blue,
colors.
yellow.
It's the white.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, blue, yellow, red.
But they,
And
you can't.
it
you
looks-
can't just like go buy one though.
I mean, I
Yeah.
guess if you order it, you're paying for shipping or whatever, right?
Well,
And
and you're
tax.
limited to like whatever colors are available at the time. So if you want,
I
that
mean,
specific
they were.
color, you might. Not
They
be able
used to
get
sell
it.
for like $400 used. I'm surprised that you're surprised by that. I was thinking you were saying it was too low, Phil.
Well,
Remember, you
okay,
used to
so-
have to wait until like magically he'd send out an email and
They
say,
would-
"Hey, we have some in
yeah,
stock
and
now,"
then
and then
they'd
you have to
sell
buy
out.
it immediately.
Okay,
Now
Kind
you
of
can
the
just
same. I think he just has like bigger batches.
No, you can actually go buy one of the standard ones, and it just puts you in a queue. And it says right here
Oh,
it ships
I
in
see.
2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
I think some of the
That's
other
not bad.
colors you can't. Oh no, it
Like
says
the other
purchase.
colors might be more limited.
Maybe the Stormtrooper one just lets you buy it. So yeah, apparently they'll take your money.
Okay, so I'm looking on Reverb.
I doubt you're gonna find one cheaper than that. See? Why did you go quiet all of a sudden, Phil?
because I'm bad at
Is it
searching.
all more than $250?
Wow, yeah, they are. They're way more. I mean,
Yeah.
okay, wait. The
Some of them
least
are close
expensive
to
one,
$250.
okay, this is $230 altogether, but it quickly goes up from there. So
Yeah.
there's one for $230.
And did you notice
And
that
it's
it
the
says
same.
it's already in 2 other people's cart?
Oh, I did not. So I
And
can't
one
buy
of
it right
them-
now if I wanted to.
One of them doesn't even have a description. Oh, it just says barely used. There's no box, and the entire back is covered in nasty Velcro, and that's the cheapest one.
Oh,
That's
nasty
probably
Velcro.
why. Yeah,
Not
go
just
look
regular?
at it. The entire back is covered in the Velcro that has the really small little
Oh,
hooks,
ooh,
and
no,
it's
you were correct.
super sticky. Like
Nasty
it's gonna
Velcro.
rip off any label that's on the back of there. And the other one looks like it probably doesn't. Oh, the other one has like a bunch of dings in it. If you look at it, has like a bunch
And
of
that's
dings
not even. That's like a.
through the paint, and it's $230 plus 20 shipping.
Yeah,
So that's why. And no box.
dude. He's got. Okay, he did some things right. Like all the variations and colors. They're all like they all make me
they all
want
look
them.
really good. Seriously, he's good at that. I mean, he's good at every aspect of it, seemingly. But there isn't a single one that I look at and think I wouldn't want that on my board.
Exactly. Every single one, I'm like, dude, that looks sick.
And there's plenty of pedals that I would not, that I look at and think like, ugh.
I know, absolutely. It's like, ooh, I like
I'd
that
like
circuit,
to think I wouldn't make the
but I don't
decision
want
completely
exactly.
based on that. But you know, let's
So
be
the one
honest.
that is kind of surprising me that like if somebody said it out loud, I would think no, but like I'm looking at it and I think that's pretty freaking sick. Is the one that's olive drab with matte black writing. So it's like it looks like military. It looks
Yeah.
freaking cool.
Yeah,
If somebody described it to me, I'd be like, no, why? But like looking at it, it's like, dude, that's freaking
Yeah.
sick.
totally.
And then
I like
everything
that one
else,
a lot, actually.
there's so many different like weird, like he
The
did
one
so
with the
many different
gradient?
things.
The one with the gradient from blue to red as it goes left to right, on that, and it's white. Background is white.
Dude, there's one that's matte black with just red outline.
I know that one's really
Oh.
good. I wonder what it's called. Oh, it just says, oh, it's Stranger Things. That's what it's like based on.
Yes.
That one looks really good. Well, and it
Man.
looks like the printing on it is kind of 3D, like it stands.
Yeah, it's like stamped.
It's like
Instead
bubble
of, like-
paint or something, or what's it? Puffy paint.
Okay, what was the one you were talking about? Gradient?
Look at the one
Oh.
that changes like gradually.
Rainbow
from-
fade? Is that what it is?
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, that's oh my gosh.
There's a lot of good ones.
Oh. I need to stop looking at him.
So here's the weird thing about me though with guitar is that
Yes.
I kind of like playing bass more than guitar. I'm sorry.
Say
I
it
don't
and
know
say
what to
so
say.
cool.
Yeah, I've been playing bass with this old man band, my old boss. It's just
Wait.
fun.
Okay, so you need to tell us about the
I'm in
Marco
two
Polo
bands now. Oh,
of you singing. It was just your face, and there was clearly a band behind you, but like you refused to, like you were like teasing us.
no, it's just
Sorry
'cause
to
that,
catch up the viewer. Cole sent Aaron and I a. Did you polo a Marco or did you Marco a polo to us?
I mark out a polo.
He
I
marcoed
mark
a
out
polo to us.
you. Yeah.
That was just his face. Like he put his phone like on his music stand or something. So it's just his face. But there's clearly like he was at band practice, and he's singing at full volume and playing guitar, clearly. But all we could
Bass.
see is his face.
Playing bass.
Oh, interesting. And he's singing his heart out, and we're hearing a full band, but we couldn't see anything else other than
Yes.
his glorious mustache and face.
So you said I potentially put it on a guitar stand. My phone is attached to my microphone stand all the time because that's where I get all the lyrics from. So it's just in a mount on my stand. So I just did it from there. It's not like I had an extra hand to be holding my phone to move it around.
Of course, you
I was
didn't have
playing
another
bass.
hand. I assumed it was a music, but that's even cooler. You have a phone holder on your mic stand.
Yeah.
You wild man, you.
Then I get all my lyrics from it. It's actually sold as a bike mount to like mount your phone to your handlebars.
Yes.
But
yes.
here, I'll see if I can. I'm sure I can find a picture of it.
I'm sure the viewer would love to know.
So here, I'll go
Would
find.
love to like buy the very one that you have.
Okay. So if you Google bike phone mount, there's one called. That's so random. CJ's cell phone bike holder. Where's the other one I bought? Phone.
CJ, what does he know?
Who knows? Okay, here we go. Mr. Power, universal microphone, mic stand, phone holder for iPhone, Samsung smartphones.
Oh,
Oh, and it actually, the first picture shows it on a mic stand.
I told you long ago, I got what you waited for.
That's how I roll. And I do think there's a chance that because I have the lyrics in front of me, I don't memorize them very well because I never have to. So I do need to get out of the habit of I do need to get out of the habit of using it all the time. But what do you do? Do you have like a music stand or something?
Dude, I'm worse than you.
Yeah, obviously.
So this is the horrible habit that I got into is geez, it must have been like 10 years ago now. I found some application on the iPad that you can download like sheet music into, or not sheet music, but like chord charts. And it's got all these really cool features of like changing the chords. Like you can do all these different things with it. It's called OnSong. And I think it was created by what why does that make you laugh?
It just sounded like you're trying to remember someone's name. His name was OnSong.
No. OnSong. And I'm almost certain it was created by evangelical
praise and worship guys. Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
And you can hook up the little
looking it up?
pedal.
Yes. Are you looking it up, or did you just guess?
I'm familiar with OnSong.
Okay.
I use an app called Songbook.
Okay.
It has a Windows version, and then it like syncs with your phone, so I can edit all the stuff in Windows. And then,
dude, that sounds way cooler. But anyway, I got used to using this app, and because I've got like, I bought like a Bluetooth foot pedal thing.
Yeah.
Like I just kind of got like really used to using it.
Totally. And now you can't, like if you had to sing one of those songs without it in front of you, you wouldn't remember any of the lyrics.
100%. And yeah. When I was playing it, the last church that I was playing at regularly, the guy was like, dude, it's a total crutch. Like you don't have to do that. And I was like, yeah, I do. And he's like, no, you don't. Now. No, you don't. Like practice without it. And I was like, well, but I practice with it. And he goes, no, that's your problem. Like if you sit with it in front of your face every single time you pick up your guitar, you're never, ever going to like get away from using it.
But here's the problem is like, I'm in both of my bands. I'm like the one who's basically dictating the format of the songs. Because
meaning
like, we do enough different cover songs that I'm the one who needs to be like on top of, after this chorus, we do this solo, and then we go into that second verse or whatever,
Well, yeah, but like, couldn't you just like remember what, are you saying
that I could do a lot of
variations are so different like that?
Yeah, like, songs are, when you do a set that has like we're doing this freaking 3-hour long set in 2 weeks. Like there's no way we're going to memorize every aspect of every one of those songs,
Okay, but here's the thing. And this is what the buddy I used to play with at church would say. He'd say, obviously you can't memorize, like you shouldn't be completely blind, but he would say like, you should get to the point where you've like every part of a song, and then it's like, oh, we're mixing it up this time. We're going, verse 1, chorus, verse 2, chorus, 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 bridge. Like, so then instead of like having the chart in front of you, you just have a shorthand of like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's because like you guys don't care. You guys are just like filling time while people are out there, praying or whatever. Like you're not,
yes,
you're not doing cover songs that like you're trying to recreate.
I know, but it's
faithfully.
But the same thing applies. Like I could like when I play with Kyle, we talk about maybe this is just because that's like the world we come from, but we talk about doing songs the same way when we're covering stupid Taylor Swift songs, we're like, okay, this time let's stay on the chorus for a while and build it. It literally is the same. I'm realizing now it's exactly the same.
Yeah, you're a jam band.
But
You're basically Fish,
but
worse at your instruments.
did I tell you that somebody said once when they came to one of our shows that it felt like they were at a church service, even though we did Katy Perry, Taylor Swift.
I mean, I'm not surprised. That's like shaped who you are as a musician, right?
Yeah, and like I interact with,
It doesn't help that you have an ear mic.
Nobody does that at church.
Maybe
I've
not
never
at your
seen-
churches.
Okay, I've never seen anyone at a P-Dub church play guitar and use a headset mic. That's frowned upon. But yeah, like I interact with the crowd in the same way. I don't talk about God and I don't like pray or whatever, but I do the same stupid stuff.
Yeah.
I used to do when I was at church, and like people who are familiar with church settings, like they sense it and they don't realize, like, it's not like it's not as it. I don't think it's as far as them, like, that anyone would say, "Hey, you're making fun of church. Don't do that." But it is got to be very familiar to anybody who's like sat in evangelical churches most of their life.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you like strum and talk quietly the whole time.
Yes, I literally do, because
Yeah.
I think it's funny.
Yeah.
I think it's funny to start strumming softly, and I go, all right. I have literally said this almost, maybe not at every single show, but at least once. I'll say, this song has some really powerful words, and you might not know it, but just sit back and listen to
Let
the words.
speak to you. Just let it pour over you.
Yeah. And then it's like, Justin Bieber song.
Baby got back. That's not a Justin Bieber song. I don't want anyone to think I think that's a Justin Bieber song.
No, we got you figured out, Aaron. We know you don't know your music. So anyway, I do that, and I've never had anybody say that they're offended, but I have had people say that kind of felt like church for some reason.
I can't imagine anybody
And not
who
in
would
like
be
a-
offended would like want to have a conversation with you about it.
Yeah, it's not like you're going out of your way to make fun of praise and worship, are you?
No.
And you're not like, you're usually in like very like decidedly not church settings. It's not like you're at like a youth retreat or something, like,
Right, but like,
you know what I mean?
but just because of my circles, like
Your butt
Like-
circle?
the vast majority,
And what's
majority
the other
of
circle?
the
'Cause you said circles.
yeah.
Pee hole?
There's more than one circle, you guys. Come on. You don't know that? Ugh, I feel sorry for...
Oh, I know. I was just wondering like what specific circles you were referring to.
the many circles.
Ear holes?
Just all circles, but you said
All
my
the circle,
circles, so.
every circle. And so like there just happens to be a lot
So-
of...
So, Aaron,
Why are we talking about this?
I don't want
Aaron,
to talk about
hello.
that anymore.
I don't know.
'Cause you've
Me neither.
been saying the same thing for the last 10 minutes. Aaron, what do you think about having the lyrics right in front of you when you sing? When
Oh,
you
good.
perform?
Yes.
What do you mean? What do I think about it? Like,
Okay. The question
You
is,
think,
the last
so
time
I have
you
a mic
performed...
stand. I have a mount on my mic stand
Hmm.
that I just have my phone with all the songs,
yeah,
lyrics, format, all that.
yeah.
And but because of that, I never memorized the lyrics well enough that I could do it without it,
Mm-hmm.
because I always have that as a crutch.
I think it's fine. I don't.
Okay, wait. How do you do it with such a small screen, Cole? Like, are you like?
Go look at the
Do you
picture.
have a foot switch
that I
too?
sent you. No.
But I think you're saying like, how do you like find your place on it easily, or like,
How do you switch songs?
With my finger.
well, you can just scroll up
Swipe.
in between songs. I would think the harder thing would be like how do you get the words large enough to see without like having to scroll during the song?
That's part of what I'm saying. What I'm asking.
It auto
also.
scrolls.
Oh,
there you go.
What? Wow.
But then I can just use my finger too while I'm playing, you know.
I mean, I've done gigs like that where I'll have like an iPad or something with like.
But
the
I bet if
songs
I
on it so that
I
can
bet if I
remember.
like saw a video of myself performing, I bet I'm like too fixated on it.
Well, so my thing is like I have a hard time keeping my eyes open anyway for a couple of reasons. One is
Yeah.
like I just close them, but I
That's how
also
I am.
sweat a lot, and I sweat when I'm sweating into my eyes. And so I'm like I can't keep my eyes open because they're just filling with sweat. And if I'm playing guitar at the same time, then it's like I can't just be wiping because then I'm not playing.
I always wear a hat when
Bro,
I
I
perform.
was
You
gonna
need a
say I guess I
headband.
could wear some kind of headgear,
You need
Like
a
a
headband.
hat.
bandana. I need a bandana.
A headband.
But the problem is if I'm not in a band, I can't have like a headband or a bandana because I need a head solo or a solo Anna. Right? Get it? Because band, the
I
word
do get
band.
that. Maybe I'll
No.
try. I won't for
know
this
what you
gig
need?
coming up.
Here's
That
the,
is
here's the
songs that I'm
optimum choice.
more
Are you ready?
familiar with. I do close my eyes most of the time.
Giant-
While I'm singing.
Giant foam cowboy hats.
I bet part of it is just
Super
like
absorbent.
a confidence thing too. Because like
No, foam cow. Are you kidding me? That'd make it worse. It doesn't act.
yeah,
foam
sometimes
doesn't actually
I'll have
hold
the
any
lyrics
moisture.
and I don't use them the whole time, but like I like to
Oh,
it's
no.
good to like look
Okay.
down at like to be like, oh, how does this next verse start or something like that.
That's what
And
I'm
then, like,
saying. Is
once you get
in
the
both of my
beginning
bands-
then you're like fine.
in both my bands, I'm like the one that people look to for the format of the song as we're playing.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
But I'm talking about like even just like lyrically.
Yeah,
Like what's if I can usually if I know it well enough, like the first line will trigger, then I know the whole.
yeah.
Then I can get the rest once I start. But sometimes it's hard to in the moment.
hmm
But I mean, I don't
Mhm.
think it. I don't think it necessarily impedes the performance, but I can see how it could. Because people always say like that's the big thing with like church bands is like they're like, well, if you're looking at it, then you're not like engaged, and then other people are like, well, like orchestras have music all the time, or like jazz musicians, and I think that's
And also, like if you screw
true.
up, like there's
it's also
something
different.
I think people are like way too focused in the praise and worship scene in general. They're way too focused on being good musicians and everything.
Yeah, I
and
agree
it's
with that,
kind of
100%.
ridiculous. It's all like, let's be honest. They want the attention on they don't actively want the attention on them instead of Jesus, but that's essentially what's happening. But like it would be distracting if somebody was like actively messing up in the middle of a song or whatever. So like there's something to be said for
Yes.
wanting to all be together at least, even if like if you mess up a lyric, I guess that's not a big deal, but like it takes somebody else out of the experience if you botch a song or whatever.
Yeah. Like if you just hit the wrong chord and everyone
Yeah.
else is not.
Or if you move on if you're not in sync with the band and all that.
That's why I think it like depends, because like if you're the person if you're trying to engage a crowd, that's different than like you want them to only engage with the music. So like a rock band is doing different things than like a jazz combo or a string quartet or a symphony. Like they're all doing different things. Even though
Totally.
they're performing music, the engagement with the crowd is different, because if you're going to a symphony, you don't really care who's playing what. You just are listening to the music. So you're not like, making
Yeah.
eye contact with people or like doing crowd work or whatever. So charisma is not really an issue there
Yeah.
Mm.
as much as like precision. Whereas with the
Yeah,
rock
the performer.
band, the
Yeah.
charisma is way more, maybe even more important than precision in a lot of cases. Like, unless it's like tech metal or something. But
Well, honestly, especially if it's a cover band, like let's be honest, like
yeah.
there's the familiarity of the song already, so it's like
yeah. There's something about
I want like we need to connect
if
instead
you're going
of
to be
like,
a cover band who's doing covers that are close, at least somewhat close to the original, you want to be performing it fairly. Like if you're doing something like you are, Phil, where you're totally changing the style of a song, you wouldn't expect it to be like identical, you know.
Yeah.
But if you're
Right.
basically trying to do a faithful recreation of it, like you want to kind of keep the format and everything too.
Yeah, it also depends. Like if you're a cover band doing like a wedding gig or whatever, like you don't want too much attention on you because
yeah,
it's not about you. Like, you know, you're
There
the
it's all
jukebox.
about you're essentially like a DJ.
Yeah.
yeah. If you're a wedding band, I would assume that it's not about like precision accuracy, but you don't want to vary.
It's
You don't
about
want to
having
like
fun.
you don't want to change it too much, right? You're trying to like,
But you also don't want to like you don't want the focus to be on if you're paying a band to like play at your wedding, unless it's like, you know, you really like the band, you're not
Right.
paying them to like be the focus of the event.
yeah,
You're paying them to play music that people can dance to at your wedding. So it's like
Yeah.
if
Right,
that
so-
if they have iPads with the lyrics, like who cares?
yeah, that's true. Okay,
You
I see
almost
what you're
want
saying.
them to, because you would
Yes.
rather them not make mistakes than be engaged with the crowd. Whereas
Right.
if you're like, if it's you, like you're like Barista Nightmare, the interaction with the crowd, as awkward as it is, like is part of the whole thing. So like that's more important than you getting all the lyrics right in that case, you know? So it just depends on what you're trying to do. In fact, if you're like messing up the lyrics, then you just be like, okay, I'm just gonna like talk about Star Wars for a minute or something. I don't know what you do.
You know what? You clearly, I don't like the way you're talking about my band. All right, and there's some
You
disrespect
chicks
I'm
don't
hearing.
even know the name of my band.
Duh, 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 duh,
But they're
Duh,
all on
duh,
me like
duh.
they want to hold hands.
duh, duh, duh.
Because once they blow, they know that I'll be the man. All
Duh,
because
duh,
I'm the lead
duh.
singer of my band. My band.
Hey,
my
guys.
band.
Duh,
Do
duh.
you
Are we
hate
not
the
doing
people that
D12
listen
credits?
to our podcast? Do you like
I
actively
love
hate
them.
them?
I want to remind them of
Because
D12.
I want to murder both of you right now.
Well,
You're
that's
singing
what-
two
that's-
different songs at the same time.
No,
I hate
no,
both
no,
of
no,
you.
No, we're not.
No. I was
I'm
thinking
singing
Aaron's song.
one song, and he's doing the beat to another song. It's a mashup. Did you not watch Glee?
Could you?
Is that what this
Yes,
is now?
I did not watch Glee. Is that how you want me to answer that?
That's exactly how I would like for you to answer that. Yeah.
Did you-
I also did not watch Glee, so
oh,
I
I
just
did.
know they did mashups. I only know that from.
I don't
the
think they
episode
did
of The
mashups
Office
like
I
what we just
hate-
did.
Everything
where
I've
they watch
heard
Glee.
of Glee, I dislike strongly.
There's like a theory that Leah Michelle is illiterate. Have you heard of this?
Yes,
you can't
I have
read.
heard this.
How
It's really
could that
funny.
Be?
I know. It's really
She's an
funny.
actor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
she's not a reader.
Well, but they have to like read their lines.
No, you just have to know
Not
your
a-
lines.
Yeah, you have to know them.
Well, what is she?
You can have someone read them to you.
Yeah, you just get to scream out
So
line.
what is this? What is the genesis of this? And then what's the exodus of this?
I don't
myth?
remember.
I don't. I just know that somebody
What's the
said it, like-
Deuteronomy of this myth?
okay, here's what I know. There's a video on the interwebs of somebody making this argument, and they've got like
Yeah.
bulleted points of like, okay, evidence, exhibit A, exhibit B, like bits of information of her doing like things that are, and it's like any one thing is like, okay, whatever, but because there's like a series of things, these series of things, and I've not watched the video, but I've heard of the video. Maybe we need to see the video.
Okay, here's 9. I
It's
found an article.
40
Here's
minutes
9,
long,
9
apparently.
key points in
Yeah,
favor of her.
the full
being
one is
illiterate.
40 minutes long.
Number
There's
one,
like a shorter. There's
she
a
has
shorter
her
one.
lines fed to her because she was a child actor on Broadway and never had time to go to school. She did the show Spring Awakening for years and years because she only had to memorize the show once, and it would make it easier for her. It's dumb.
these are not reasons. Like that's not evidence.
She only works with Ryan Murphy, so because he helps her cover up the fact that she can't read. This is so dumb. She sang well-known standards on the show and never had to read the lyrics. Yep, she's obviously illiterate.
Yeah, she has lines though. Why? Like,
She never uses her own phone. Her
I love the
assistants do it
idea
for
that
her.
she could memorize all the lines for the show, but she couldn't memorize a song that she didn't already know.
Here, check this
Whoa,
out.
wait. She never uses her own phone.
Yeah, her assistants do it. In her Instagram captions, she uses a lot of emojis. If it's just emojis, Michelle wrote it. If it's words, someone wrote it for her. If it's both, someone wrote the words, but they let her pick the emojis after.
That is like so weirdly
That's
specific.
Stupid.
Like even if she was
These are-
illiterate, that scenario doesn't even make any sense. It's
Yeah,
so
that doesn't-
weird.
That is very strange.
In pictures of her signing books, the pen is not touching the book; it's simply hovering above it.
Yeah, that's because they're taking a picture.
Okay,
Her book titled
That's like saying
Brunette
this
Ambition
actor-
doesn't have a lot of words.
This
and instead has photos, recipes, and workouts.
That's like saying this actor doesn't know how to type because in the scene they're typing, but they're actually not typing.
their fingers are over
yeah,
the keyboard.
their fingers aren't touching. Like that's
In
That
a
is the
picture of her
dumbest-
signing a wall, her name is already written, and she's just drawing a line under it. Yeah, because she already wrote it.
It's
and
a
then they're
photo
like,
op,
"Let's
you dummies.
make-" This is so dumb.
I'm angry that you brought this up as if there was any validity to it.
I'm angry too.
I had never
Aaron,
listened to
what's
the
wrong with
theory.
you?
I just knew there
Okay,
was
have
a
you guys
theory.
seen those other videos of Leah
It's
Michelle
obviously
going
dumb.
around?
Uh,
Of
Of her being a bee.
No, of her like
like a honeybee?
it's
bee
very
movie?
weird. It's a guy actor and I can't think of who it is.
Is this about the lamp?
No, it's about Jonathan Groff. Do you know who that is?
Was he on Glee
15 years ago.
Who's Jonathan Groff?
and the spring of whatever?
At one point. Okay, so here I'm just quoting this, and I apologize for those with kids listening at home.
This is
Jonathan and I
about the
became
lamp.
so close, we were so
Yes.
intertwined.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Continue.
not about a lamp.
Oh, you keep reading.
Oh, yeah. So it says, at one point, I literally showed my whole vagina. I can confirm that. He's like, I've never seen one before, so can you show me? And he said, sure. And I showed him. And then she goes into detail about all the parts she showed him. Like, this is very strange to me. They're treating this as if
She grabbed a lamp.
they're coworkers, but the
Mhm.
lamp has not. The lamp is. Why do you keep talking about a lamp? All it is she used that for light, so she could show
listen.
it. That is
Listen.
it's like
I'm
such
just
an
Cole.
inconsequential part of the story.
Cole. For some reason, that part has grabbed the heart of many internet patrons, because people keep posting things about Leah Michelle and the lamp, and then just to get people to like, oh, I know what you're talking about, kind of thing.
I don't get. That's like troubling that they're treating that as if it's just a very normal thing, and if it was like. I'm not trying to turn this into like some men's rights discussion or something like that.
Men's rights?
But like, if a guy was like, "Yeah, I showed my co-star my whole dong, and it was just this cute little story," like, it's a very
Yeah.
weird thing to do with your coworker.
It
And I
is,
get that
and
they're
it's
actors; they were in a play, and they're
No.
like making out and stuff in the play.
It's weird. It's weird to do it. It's even weirder to tell everyone about it.
Yeah, like
Right?
yes,
You
it's
should-
weird that like you're almost proud of it. So you're like, yeah,
Right.
we did this thing
Yeah.
that's like, it's weird to do, but you're right. Like you could see something like that happening, and then you're like, hey, maybe we don't like
Talk about
make a
this
big
ever
deal out of
again
this,
to
or-
anyone.
Yeah. Because it wasn't even like because he was still like figuring out his own sexuality and stuff. I don't know. That's a weird. I guess like you can't expect somebody who is a child star to totally understand, right? Because
I don't
it
know.
would screw up your brain so bad to have most people around you as you're growing up just like kiss your butt all the time and never tell you no. It would honestly break your brain. That's like why.
Yes,
I don't
it
know,
would.
That's like why Trump's kids are so screwed up.
What's up with Barron, by the way? Like, how's he doing?
Oh, there's he's doing great. I mean, that much can be said. We can all agree on that. But there's a
10 out of
very
10.
popular conspiracy theory that Barron is the love child of Donald Trump. And who do you think?
Wait, what? But he wasn't birthed from Melania?
That's what this part of this conspiracy.
That doesn't make sense. It should be Melania and someone else, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Because-
Okay, good.
Did Aaron just
Okay,
close
so
his
people are saying
computer?
people are saying it's Trump and another woman.
Yes.
Who is the
Another-
woman?
Very famous woman.
Name a woman.
I can't. Another one of the most famous women of the last 50 years, probably.
Oprah Winfrey.
No,
Okay.
that would be even weirder.
Megan Fox.
No, somebody who died well before Barron probably would have been born, I would think.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Because isn't Barron like a child?
I believe he is still a teenager.
Yeah,
He was like, I think he was like in junior high when.
Because this is
Trump
one I've
was
seen. Who's that guy that
inaugurated.
Who's that guy that goes to Trump rallies and makes fun of him? You know, like interviews him. You know who I'm talking about.
Jordan Klepper.
It's the other one, but yes, maybe. But it's like those types of videos where you see people talking about. I think he's tall. Is Barron? I guess Trump is tall too, right? He's like 6'2" or something.
Trump is pretty tall. Yeah.
Yeah, like taller than average. So the conspiracy theory is that Barron Trump is the child of Donald Trump and Princess Diana.
That makes no.
It makes. First of all, you can't there can't be a conspiracy about who the mother is of a certain child.
No, there
Like
cannot.
it was, unless it was like some fertility, like some donor or something, like an
That
IVF
is-
kind of thing. But like,
Yeah.
how dumb! It makes no sense to me. Yeah, in these pictures, it looks like he's taller than his dad. Isn't that weird? I mean, I guess it's not weird.
Are you looking
but
up
it's
like,
just
current pictures of
No.
Barron?
I was just looking. I just Googled Barron Trump because I was trying to see how old he is. But yeah, it says he's like.
So how old is he right now?
Oh, dude, he's 6'7". Holy crap! He's 16.
No.
He's 16, and it says he's 6'7". Jeez.
6'7". Trump is like
Oh, man.
6'3".
Can you imagine being him and being like, Dad, okay, I was gonna be rich. I was gonna be this like good looking kid who's 6'7". Everybody would have loved me if you weren't such a freaking lunatic. Now half the country hates me, basically,
I'm a not ugly, rich
Exactly.
white man.
Yeah, like exactly. A tall, rich, like,
Yes.
and very tall too.
I'm a tall, rich, not ugly.
Can you
white
imagine
man.
what college? I mean, college it's still like half the. It's still like 150 million people, right?
Yeah, but he has to
11
go
or
to.
whatever.
He has to go to the absolute like wealthiest uppity college to get a
Oh, yeah.
semi normal life, and even then he can't, right?
I don't think so. It'd be hard
can't.
for. Maybe he's not recognizable enough though, because to their credit, I don't know that this was a choice on their own. It's maybe just because he hates them. Oh, is Aaron gone for good?
Well, he's here. His screen is black.
His laptop closed. Like that is one thing I will say that, and I don't know that was a choice made by the Trump parents, but he was not really in the public eye very much during his presidency, right? Like,
Right,
I feel like
correct.
he could walk around and the majority of people wouldn't know who he is.
Correct.
If he's going to school somewhere, everyone's going to know very quickly, right? It's not like there's going to be someone on his dorm floor that doesn't know who he is, but But he could like go to the store.
Yeah, but like he went to like
6'7" though. That's the most shocking part of all this.
that is very shocking. He looks like I mean from what I remember at the inauguration, he looks like he looks like an average white kid. Like he looks
Totally like a kind of baby faced.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, okay.
He wouldn't stand out by any means.
Do you remember Greta Thunberg?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so
she destroyed our world.
she did it?
Yeah, remember?
No, she didn't.
Yeah.
No, she told people that
because she had the audacity. A child had the audacity to tell me how to live my life.
So I'm doing this this rhetoric unit with my sophomores, and I made them watch her speech for the whatever it was. And first of all, it was very, very unsettling because all 3 of my classes laughed out loud at the speech. Like that's how much they do not care about anything.
So wait, what's the speech again?
It's like
so you're doing a unit on rhetoric.
It's her like starting off like she's like, "How dare you, leaders of the world, ruining our."
Oh, it's Greta Thunberg speech. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
So it's like very like, fire and brimstone kind of thing. She's like shaming world leaders about their empty promises.
Yeah.
And like I said, first of all, they all laughed through the whole thing, which was very unsettling.
Yeah.
But then, like they were like they had absolutely no idea who she was, and this was only 3 years ago. Okay, yeah. So they had no idea who she was, and then when I said Google her,
to be fair, that speech was like towards the end of her popularity, or like her.
That's true.
That's
true.
She was like very much in the zeitgeist for a while, but it was entirely before COVID.
Right, and also a lot has happened in the last 3 years. So
exactly, like 3 years ago is like an eternity.
Yeah. So I go Google her, and then somebody goes, in every class, this is what happened. Somebody would go, "Wait, she got in a fight with Donald Trump?" And then I go, "Yeah." And then they would laugh at like the fact that he attacked her on Twitter.
Totally. It's the dumbest thing.
So the president of the United States attacked a teenage girl.
Exactly. For her words,
Yes, exactly. For her point of view. And then the best part is she trolled him by taking his words and putting it in her Twitter bio.
Yeah. That's right.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine like a teenage girl getting in a
president of the United
fight?
States
Yes.
Thought it was worth his time to criticize you, and you get to quote the president talking trash about you in your own Twitter bio.
Yeah, it's
that
amazing.
is like an amazing power move.
Like when they were reading it to me, I had to sit there and let myself remember that, and I was like, there was so much happening at the time that it kind of like it just kind of came and went.
Yeah,
but I
totally.
sat there and like took it in, and I was like, that like she was their age, the kids in my class. She was like their age, a sophomore in high school. Yeah. Just kind of like
she is their age now. They are now the age that she was then.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think she's like,
she's
still
20
a teenager.
Something
she's like
now,
19.
Right?
Yeah. So I go, you guys,
Thunberg.
Think about this.
Oh yeah, she's 19.
You end up in a place where you are able to give a speech and a lot of people listen to it, and the president of the United States
is like his feelings are hurt so much.
Is so bothered by what you said that he tweets about you. And then you're like, well, screw that guy. Like you do every other boy that you get pissed off.
Yeah.
And then you like do some like great. Subtle or not so subtle dig on your social media profile.
It is funny too, because like,
oh man,
a lot of the people who are quick to be like, oh, you're triggered, oh, this and that, are the same ones who like still are so upset about this, 15-year-old girl talking about climate change.
Yeah, it's weird. Like when you like my kids were showing me T-shirts like of her and about her, and some are very
they're-
snowflakey. Like some are like, "Oh, I love her," and then there's some that are like for sale right now that are like about hate. Like I hate her, and
Exactly.
it's so weird.
Like she is she's an evil person, and like, yeah, it's pretty hilarious. And the only justification is that like, climate change would hinder capitalism. Basically, that's like the argument against trying to do something about climate change.
Right.
Is that like it doesn't exist? It's a myth, or it will hurt. Essentially, it'll harm billionaires. Is what
Well, like
what it really
okay,
comes down to.
think
It'll
about
slow
like
down the economy or something.
we're not like why does anybody in America have a problem with somebody believing myths? Like you shouldn't, like who cares? So like you said, it's like it can't be like, oh, you believe a myth and it makes me mad. No, that's not it. Because lots of people believe lots of myths and we don't care and we don't get angry about them believing things that you don't believe.
Yeah,
That's not the issue. The issue is what? Like your
it's control, right? You're trying
Yeah.
to take your beliefs and shape my behavior around your beliefs. I mean, it's weirdly kind of like the same. It's the same thing with like banning abortion, right? Like I personally believe that abortion is wrong, and so nobody should have an abortion. Granted, like it's a more nuanced topic than that, but it's kind of the same thing from the other side. They're saying, well, you believe that climate change is happening, and so you're trying to dictate how this corporation behaves because of what you believe about climate change, But let's be honest, climate change like exists, and like can't.
Oh,
fix
really?
science.
You know what, Cole? Well,
I mean, you could
the other
debate,
day,
you could debate the effect of humans on it, but you cannot debate that it's happening. Like you'd be insane to.
really, it was really cold at my house. So
Exactly. It snowed
explain that, Cole.
It snowed on Mother's Day here, so global warming my butt. So Phil, Aaron's just gone, and that's
guess.
just the way life is.
Gone but not forgotten.
So
Did we forget
think
him? Maybe we should
or-
forget him.
I've forgot him in my heart. So here's a couple things about playing the bass that I like. One thing is that it's pretty hard to tell when you mess up, right?
Okay. Yeah, like jazz.
Let's be honest.
Just hit any note.
But also, like, you can kind of hear the bass half the time, especially when you're playing live. Like, the bass doesn't like stand out in the mix usually when you got a whole band playing with it.
To most listeners.
Exactly. And it's always just like there's just one bass part, and you play the one bass part,
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, like, I've played bass quite a bit with the HX Stomp and with the Pod Go, and none of them sound as good as the SansAmp, the bass fly rig, which is like basic. I think that's all analog. I mean, honestly, like SansAmp, they figured out how to make a bass sound good, how to do direct DI bass, basically. Like they have their main SansAmp bass driver that's kind of their main deal. Oh man, the bass fly rig looks nuts now. Go Google what the bass. It used to just be blue, and now it has 1 million bass clefs on it. It's ridiculous.
Ew.
But it is a very nice pedal. It's $329 though. Jeez.
What did you pay
for it? Like 200, I think.
Did you get it new? You got it used.
Yeah, I got it on Reverb. I'll go look it up. So
I read some books.
So that's it, man. I think maybe I just need to become. Yeah, $200 total. That's shipping. That's shipped. Back in 2017.
Okay.
And I'll usually just put like one earbud in so I can hear myself playing.
Right.
Just coming straight out of the Sans amp, basically. So it's like I have in-ear monitors, kind of, but just not on my voice, which is fine. So we're playing at this car show in a couple weeks. This random, it's not even like, it's just some dude who has a field in front of his house. He's doing like this. And it's in the city where my neighbor is a city manager. I think I might have mentioned, like, to him after the whole thing went down with the fair or with the 4th of July thing. I was like, oh yeah. And then I'm also playing at this car show. And he was like, yeah, I might let that happen. Or he's like, that car show that I haven't canceled yet or something like that. Because they apparently haven't sort of planned anything with the city or have any of the logistics planned out for it. Like where people are going to go to the bathroom or things like that.
Is this the one that you... Sorry, is this the one that you talked about? First of all, should we wait? Should we talk about this on the next?
Yeah, I might as well.
Okay. And maybe try to find Aaron.
Hey, Aaron's not coming back, so we're doing one episode tonight, and this is it. So,
oh, is that the case?
You should be. Have you not been reading our chat?
Oh, I'm reading my chat now. Come on, Aaron. Okay.
I have 2 kids too, Aaron. Like, come on. Can't keep using that as an excuse.
Don't they tie their own shoes now and stuff?
Exactly. They don't even wear shoes, probably.
Oh. Well,
probably wipe their own butts. So, oh, the new bass fly rig has an effects loop, but that's weird though. It's between. So you have the Sans amp. It has a compressor and then the actual Sans amp part, and then a boost. And then it has an effects loop, and then it has an octave and a chorus after that. Maybe the effects order is actually in the opposite order that it's shown on the thing. I don't know. That's weird. The effects loop would have to be before the Sans amp, I would think. That's where all your drive's coming from. Or, yeah, I guess it would be after that. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's interesting, though. Okay, well. Phil?
Cool.
Did I lose you, too?
I'm here.
Oh.
Here I am.
Okay, well. Guess that's it for tonight.
You know what else is good in analog?
Friendship? Also good digital, if you know what I'm saying.
Ew.
I don't. Like phone sex or something? I don't know.